Series?
Series.
Series. Okay.
Plural series is series. Series.
Okay.
Just series.
Series. Okay. It's starting to sound like a novel.
Hi! We're Liberty Knits. I'm Darree.
I'm Izzy.
I'm Adelina.
And this is a knitting, crafting, creative podcast that we decided to start. So we're working out some technical kinks, but this is our first try. Hope you enjoy coming along this ride with us.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I just want to say all of our links are going to be down below in the doobly-doo. We will link everywhere that you can find us on social media and Ravelry, as well as anything that we mention. If we can find a link, we will put it there.
Yes.
We're just going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is our finished objects. I'm the only one with finished objects this week. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is a pair of socks. Now, I've been knitting socks for about a year, a little over. And what makes these socks special is that it's the first time I've knit socks using a sock blank. These are Hermione's Everyday Socks, which is a great pattern. I think it works well with this. And these were done using a Gale's Art sock blank. So the sock blank that I started with looks like this. Kind of greens and blues with this beautiful stamping pattern on it.
Very pretty.
And
It's gorgeous.
they knit up like this. I did a 2x2 rib at the top, and I did fish lips kiss heel. Now what surprised me, having never knit with a sock blank before, is how the stamped part translates into this beautiful speckled fabric.
Yeah, it was really surprising. I was like, aren't there gonna be flowers? And I was like, no. And I was like, but it has to be. That's knitting.
It's magic. I've decided that it is magic.
It is absolutely, I absolutely love these socks. And I would definitely knit with a sock blank. I'm a little bit obsessed right now. And I think maybe we'll even start trying to dye some of our own sock blanks because they are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And very fun to knit with. So, that is my finished object.
I don't have any finished objects.
Neither do I.
I'm a new knitter.
I'm a slow knitter.
Okay, well then let's talk about maybe some works in progress.
So, right now, I am working on a hat by Plucky Knitters, Conversationalist. I kind of ruined the pattern, but it's okay. I switched it from being a 2-color pattern to being a 1-color pattern, and I am knitting in the colorway, by Gynx Yarns in the colorway of Magic Show.
And I think it's a worsted weight.
Yeah, I think so too. Where did that? Yes.
It's a worsted weight.
No, yes.
And it is truly one of the most beautiful colorways. It's hard to pick it up. Oh, there, you can see a little bit. Oh, it's variegated. The colors are
phenomenal.
So beautiful. There's purple and green.
And pink and orange and
blue. But like from a distance, it looks just like blue and purple. And then you get up close and you're like, what? There's pink in there? How'd they even do that?
It's so beautiful. I think we're going to be fighting over the leftovers.
It's all mine.
No. I will fight you.
No, you won't.
Well,
I think we will maybe see. But very, very beautiful. And are you enjoying knitting it?
I am. I started it in like March or so. So it's taken me a long time, but that's okay. I've had some problems with like my legs and my head, so I was just, ugh. Yeah.
Oh, but it's beautiful, and you're getting there. You're almost done. So it starts with a 2x2 rib, and then, oh, it's so soft, too.
It is soft.
nope.
Next work in progress. Is that your only work in progress?
Yes, it is.
Okay, next.
Okay. So, first I have this lovely hat, which you can't see it from this power, but it's a teal and brown and blue. It's in Swish by Knitpicks in the colorway Lost Lake Heather. And the pattern is called Graham, I believe. The link will be in the doobly-doo down there. But it starts off with a 1x1 rib. You can see that. And then it has this lovely broken rib for the body of it.
And it's a free pattern.
Yeah, it's a free pattern. It's beautiful. I would highly recommend it. This broken rib gives it a really cool texture that's going to be great for the winter because it's really soft, really like just...
It's very squishy too.
Yeah, but see, got that.
It looks like waffles.
Yeah, it does. It looks like
Yeah,
waffles.
but it's a really nice slouchy hat. Super recommend this. I'm doing it on the knitpicks cerulean?
Caspian. I think.
Caspian? Whenever I think blue, I think cerulean. That's the default blue color that isn't just blue.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I have the nice little teal string wire things. I don't know what they're called. String things.
Cord.
Cord. There you go.
cord.
Makes
But, so I got that. And then I have, I'm down at the end of this thing. But, where's the sock? Oh, there it is. I got it. I got it. Now this is my very first ever in my entire life sock. It is just a simple sock, 1x1 ribbon top, and just a striped patent Croy yarn, sock yarn, and striped. It's got brown at the top, red, dark gray, a light heather gray, and that repeats.
I love how the heather gray ended up as your heel.
Yeah, I was like, I'm doing precisely 3 stripes so I can get a single color as my heel, because I like that. But it's
Move this way.
it's turning out real nice. I'm really enjoying knitting socks. I'm definitely going to knit more socks in the future. And then we have the big project, my biggest thing.
massive.
It's like actually physically massive. So, I will give you this end.
Take this end.
This is, oh my goodness, it's not
too
in
big
frame.
for the frame.
But this is the Stephen West Vertices Unite shawl. What are we going to do when this gets bigger? It's not going to, it's just going to be the whole screen.
Yes.
But, so, I started this first section back in December, and I finished it at the end of May. And, see it? You can see those. It's striped in this dark, piney olive green. And where'd the other one go? I dropped it. And then this is called Pumice Heather. These are all palette from knitpicks, and they're really close in color.
Not in like a hue.
In darkness. And so they create a really subtle stripe that in the right light you can really see it, but in others, like this light, you can't really see it at all.
From here
but if
you
you go
can't see it.
outside,
And or if you put it up close,
You can really see the difference between the.
it kind of gives a great kind of shadowed, more depth
yeah.
in there.
And this next section
This one
is, see if I can say this right, Seraphim. Yes, it's so difficult to say. I've been trying all day, and I keep just saying surflip. But it's a really light, I'd say lilac-y, gray, purple color.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice with this seagrass green, which is like a really yellowy, really light green. And they create these really long, convoluted short rows that Mr. Stephen West likes to just throw at me. And I'm like, these aren't short rows, buddy. These are long rows. But you can see the stripes right there, the light green, that light purple. And then we move on to the section I'm currently working on. It's going to be a big rectangle that goes all the way, this is a struggle. It goes all the way down here, like that.
Like a rectangle.
Yes, it's going to be a rectangle. And I'm using this color. We're struggling.
Rectangle.
It's called Tarragon. It's like a really nice avocado-y green, and it ties together with like the extreme light and the extreme dark of this.
And it gives it a nice pop.
Yeah, pop a color, pop. But I'm gonna put this down just before.
And as Mr. Stephen West says, works for me.
Yep. So, those are my working on project things.
Excellent.
You?
Next is me. So, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is a sweater. Now, I have knit sweaters in the past. When the girls were little, I knit them little teeny tiny baby sweaters. Very
So
cute.
They're very cute.
And I've knit a sweater for me before, but this will be the first sweater that I knit in the recently. So this is a cardigan. It is a pattern called Quicksand. It's by a woman named Heidi Kirrmaier. So it looks like this. It is a worsted weight, and I am using knitpicks The Mighty Stitch in Spruce. So,
Which I really like that
Yes.
color. It's like a
a
teal.
yeah, it's not quite green, but it's also not quite teal, very dark. And it is a paid for pattern, so I won't give anything away, but it is knit from the top down, and instead of using kind of a make one or knit front and back to increase, you used a raised increase, which is the first time I've ever done that. That stitch kind of reminds me a little bit of the twin stitch in the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. So I am almost on the yoke, and it's a pretty quick knit because it's worsted weight, and I thought that that would be good. Now, this yarn is mostly acrylic. I have nothing against acrylic yarn. I think it definitely has its place in my knitting world anyway. But it does have a little bit of wool in it, so I'm very interested to see if it blocks at all. And I wanted to do this sweater in a less expensive yarn because it's the first time I've knit it. And kind of as people who sewists do a muslin, this is sort of my muslin version of a sweater. So hopefully, my goal is to get it done by the end of the month. But as my girls know, I love to cast on. So if I get distracted, I may move on to something else. But for now, it's what I'm primarily working on, because I am anything but a monogamous knitter. I want to say a little something about, I am knitting it on US 9, I believe that's 5mm needles. I'm looking down at my project notes here. And I have it in a bag with these really cute woodland creatures.
So cute.
By Sunshine Lily Crafts. So it has this great handle, a nice big zipper. It's got this beautiful silvery red polka dot inside. So it's a great, great project bag, and it is so cute.
It's got animal. I like the fox.
I think they're all cute.
I'm the fox.
I also like the raccoons. The raccoons nice.
Owls, my favorite. Anyway, the next thing that I'm knitting, might as well talk about the project bag first, is this beautiful batik project bag, and it is by Knit and Stitch Bits from Etsy. It's got the dragonflies on it. I thought it was beautiful, and as you will see, it matches my project. I am knitting the Windswept shawl, and it's by Molly from a Homespun house. And what really drew me to this pattern was this beautiful, almost woven look.
It has the nicest texture.
Yeah.
And that it's showing a bit brighter than what it is. This yarn is from my yarn box. I subscribe to both Yarn Box Classic and Yarn Box Socks just as a way to find new yarns, new to me yarns. So it's very squishy. The yarn is by Verdant Gryphon in their Bugga base, and the color is called Lac Rose, which is a tonal pink, excuse me. So I really love it. My one concern, I think I'm going to have to make it bigger than what it calls for. I'm about, by the pattern, I'm about 2/3 done the increases for this section, and then there's a beautiful lace edging. So I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I have 2 skeins of this sport weight yarn, and I think I'll have enough.
Yeah.
So I'm knitting it.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's really lovely. This is the first one of Molly's patterns I've used. I'm knitting this on my carbons, and the needle size is US 6 4mm needles. and I like carbons. Some people have problems with their connection. These are interchangeables. They're fine for this. I do have issues when they're a little bit smaller, but for now, for this project, they're going great.
Is that an easy project to make?
I'm not having a problem with it. It's, as of right now, it's very memorizable. I don't need to look every time, so I can take it with me. So it is. I think so, but I think the lace border may be a bit more complicated.
But it's beautiful. It's going real well.
Yeah, so
I
far
have
so
a
good.
shawl that I would like to knit.
Yeah, I like it. The next thing that I have is I'm housing in a bag by Engelbrecht Makes on Etsy, and it's this really pretty purple.
I really like the bottom part of it.
Yeah, and it's got a really cool interior too, and it's got a little pocket, which I like. I keep these lavender sachets in most of my project bags for two reasons. I like the way they smell, but also keep any bugs away. I was lucky enough for this project to be able to sign up for Voolenvine Yarns had a sock club called the Gorey Details. And this was the first colorway from that. So this was the label, and I keep a little bit of yarn attached to it. It is the Gorey Details Yarn Club by Voolenvine Yarns in the color Mystery. It's on her Footsie base. Let's see if you can see that. And this is the colorway. It's got a green base. It's got some purple and the brightest highlighter yellow-green in it. And the pattern is the Monkey Socks by CookieA. And I think that the pattern and the yarn together is...
It's amazing.
Those
really, socks are amazing.
Yeah.
So this is the one that I have finished. I finished the top with a twisted, 1x1 twisted rib. And my other one, I'm not quite to the heel. I'm obviously doing them toe up. But I love this. It's a pretty quick knit. It's an 11-row repeat. So once you get another repeat, you get quite a bit done. So I am knitting these on just the knitpicks metal ones. I'm not sure what they're called. In a US 1.5, and I think that's a 2.5 millimeter. I apologize for I keep looking down, but I don't have the memory I used to. So those are the three things that I'm currently working on. I probably have another 10 projects currently on the needles, but these are the ones that are piquing my interest right now and the ones that I'm reaching for most often. What are we going to knit next?
So when or if I ever finish my hat,
You will finish.
I do want to learn how to knit socks. That is something that I think I would enjoy. I also would love to knit like a blanket made of little squares.
Like the sock yarn mitered square blanket that I'm knitting?
I don't know, like small, and something cute to have. And I also want to learn how to knit the sweater, like from Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. We all are, really. Hufflepuff. Okay. A Mrs. Weasley sweater that she always knits for the family and Harry for Christmas. The one that has the initial on it. So I would love to learn how to knit one of those. That's in the very far future. Very future.
I just ordered, and it just came like the other day, the knitpicks Felici sock yarn. I got one that's called Kaleidoscope. I think it's white with some neon colored stripes, which looks super cool. And I'm really excited to just do some different sock patterns. Like I said, the sock that I'm currently knitting is my first ever sock. And if you have any like cool, simple sock patterns you think me, a beginning sock knitter, could do, please leave the links to their Ravelry thing in the description, and I will totally check them out. I would love any of that. I would also really like to be able to knit like a cool tank top, crop top shirt. Like I saw one pattern that was like So it was longer in the front and then had like a V in the back, like that. It came around and it looked really cool and it looked like something that I would be able to knit eventually. And I'd like to do that. That seems like I'd like to knit more of my clothes very much.
And I too have that goal. I am interested in having a more handmade wardrobe, and I also sew and have made quite a bit of clothing in my past, and I want to get back into that, and I'd like to have some coordinating outfits, as many of the podcasters kind of have the goal of having a handmade wardrobe, and I'm very inspired by those podcasts. And I think that kind of knitting the sweater, I know I can make a skirt, but kind of knitting the sweater was sort of blocking me from starting having more handmade wardrobe. So I know I can do it. So as I'm progressing on this sweater, I'd like to knit another one and kind of have a lighter fabric. This one's quite heavy because although the yarn, you know, it's not heavy in weight, but it's quite thick. I'd like a lighter version that I could wear maybe in the fall or in the spring. So this pattern does come in a lighter version using DK weight, and I'd maybe like to try that next. We'll see. But kind of having a more handmade wardrobe is something I'd like to aspire to.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, be able to make, because I don't really sew. I tried to when I was younger, and then I just got frustrated. But now I'm older and more patient, and maybe more calm. So maybe I can, like, I want to get back to that, try to do that again. Did I mess up?
Another thing that I would like to learn to do, not anytime soon, but possibly, is needle felting.
What is needle felting?
It's like you get some felt, like you found this,
You get wool and
you just
and you can make really adorable
really
little...
cute things. I was looking at cute little animals, and it would just be something that I think I would like to do. So that's one of my goals, to possibly in the future learn to needle felt.
Well, I think that's the thing, is just keeping the creative side. Now I think we're going to talk a little bit about our favorites.
Is that one?
Oh, I get to go first?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so my favorite is something that is just really one of the best things that exists in this world, is the musical that no one can get tickets to, that it's really impossible to get into, but the cast recording is amazing. It is Hamilton and its creator, Lin-Manuel Miranda, my personal hero, the best person. As we're recording this last night, it was his last performance with the original cast, which was sad for everyone. But it's an inspirational story. If you haven't heard of it, it's a hip-hop musical about the life of the first Treasury Secretary of the United States, Alexander Hamilton, who fought in the Revolutionary War, and it's really an amazing story. If you haven't heard it, really go listen to that cast album. You may be like, I don't like hip-hop, I don't like musicals, I don't like history. I did not like musicals, hip-hop, or history, and now it is my favorite thing ever. The music is fantastic.
It is.
Fantastic.
Like
I'm a convert. I resisted, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is different.
Yeah.
It's completely."
And it has changed. My response to any question I don't know how to answer is now just Lafayette. Like, ask me a math question that I don't know. Like, ask me about calculus. I'll be like Lafayette.
I constantly have a song from the recording stuck in my head.
I do too.
All day.
I do too.
All night.
Always.
I listen to it when I go to sleep. I try to listen to it as much as I can. It's just amazing.
And he's just the best. He's won a Pulitzer Prize for Hamilton. He won the MacArthur Foundation Genius Grant, so he's an actual real genius. He's won a Grammy.
Actually, this is actually a little bit better.
Sorry. We just had some technical difficulties. I'm gonna finish our thoughts. So I was talking about Lin-Manuel Miranda being a genius. Won a lot of Tonys. Hamilton was nominated for a record-breaking 16 Tonys. Won 12 or 11. A lot of Tonys. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Let them give their favorites.
But follow his Twitter or on Facebook. Both amazing.
Tumblr too.
So both amazing. Maybe we could put a link down below.
Right, so my favorite this week is a tea. It is Tazo in the flavor refreshment.
Hey,
puns.
Woo!
It is my favorite tea right now. I had 2 cups this morning. I had a cup yesterday. I've been drinking so much tea recently, even though it's really, really hot outside. But it is a caffeine-free mint tea. It is delicious because it's not too minty. It's not too unminty. It's just perfect.
And we know you can get that at Target.
You can get it at Target. You can get it at like
Grocery stores.
And not all grocery stores, like ShopRite. I don't think so,
but look for it.
yes. If you ever find yourself in a Target,
Find the pun tea.
find the pun tea. A lot of their teas are puns.
That's great.
That is great.
Puns are the best.
I'm going in a little bit different direction. I am going for an Etsy shop. And you can find this, it's an indie yarn dyer, and we know that there are lots of beautiful yarn dyers out there. Gynx we spoke about, Voolenvine we spoke about. This is one that I found, I think through Instagram, and it is Up in Yarns Designs. This is her vitamin yarn in her 2-ply sock.
Ooh, that's really nice. I really like that blue in there.
Yes.
But it's blue, it's speckled. I mean, the color
like
saturation
green,
is
yeah.
lovely. Here is another one. This one's called Woodstock.
Ooh, I love that blue right
yes.
there. That blue
At
is
the bottom.
that blue is light.
And the green at the top.
This one of her old labels, but this is Bursting in Air.
I like that one as well. I like all of these.
These are beautiful.
This one is called Bohemian Rhapsody. I think this is
that
Adelina's
gray?
favorite.
Yes.
A lot of her yarns are music inspired. Bohemian Rhapsody. This one
have
is
a David Bowie one.
They have a David Bowie one. There is also, I'm using one that is a Harry Potter inspired as well for a shawl that we'll show at a later time. We're doing a mother-daughter knit along.
I was not including
This is Fart Flowers, and you can see maybe a little bit. It's on her speckle base, or sparkle, not speckle, sparkle base.
It's so pretty. Like,
And this one is Rust Bucket, and it's a little bit
this
more
one's my
warm.
favorite.
But really beautiful yarns, great customer service, really quick shipping. A lot of yarns, you know, you hear a lot about some of the indie dyers, and then there are some that you just don't. And this is one that I never heard anything of while, you know, in looking for yarn on Etsy. I found it because I saw her Instagram feed, and amazing. So I definitely highly recommend her yarns.
Up in
So,
Yarns. We'll
Up
leave a link.
in Yarns.
Another pun. This is great. Just pun day.
Woo!
Puns.
I think our last section is going to be kind of what we're reading. So, want to start?
Right now, for summer homework, I was assigned to read Fahrenheit 451. I thought I wouldn't like that much. It's by Ray Bradbury. Yeah. It is a great book. It is set in the future, and I recommend it a lot. Also, for fun, I'm reading Days of Blood and Starlight, which is the sequel to Daughter of Smoke and Bone. This is one of my favorite book series. Great book. I love the characters.
How many are in the series?
There are 3, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Something and Monsters.
Excellent.
I think. Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, those are my books for this while I'm slowly yourself.
Right now, I am not actually reading anything, but I am listening. They don't like that.
No, it's fake reading.
It's fake reading.
But I listen while I knit and walk our dog. So I am reading A Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, I believe. It was a big book in 2015. Really enjoying it. I'm about halfway done, sort of a mystery going on. So it's definitely a good listen. I like the women, different women are reading different parts, which I kind of like. It helps kind of you keep track of what's going on. So we'll see how it goes at the end. But for now, I'm really enjoying it.
And then I am reading 3 books right now because I read. The first book I talked about Hamilton. He's the biography of Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow, which inspired Lynn to write the musical. It's great. It's a tome. It's 700 pages, this big. I'm about 200 pages in. It's really well written, very well researched. It's a beautiful book. If you are interested in history, if you're into Hamilton, definitely give it a read. I'm also reading a book by Brian Greene, who is a physicist, and it's about parallel universes. I forget the actual title, but it's about parallel universes and the deep laws of the cosmos. And it's really interesting. I don't really understand all of it, but I'm trying my best to read and understand because I want to be an astrophysicist, and it's just really interesting. And space is cool, man. Like, space is great. And then the third book I'm reading is by, I forget the author. It's Your Blues Ain't Like Mine is one of my summer reading books. And it's really interesting. It's about race struggles in the South, I think right leading up to the 60s, when like that really had its like
During a civil rights.
pow. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the 3 books I'm reading. Definitely the one by Brian Greene, the physics one, and the Chernow Hamilton biography. Give those a read if you're into either of those subjects. They're fantastic books.
Great. And I think this is it for our first shot. Sorry about the inconsistency. We're going to be working on lighting and those types of things, but we wanted to give it a go. We did have some technical issues, so
A lot of technical.
hopefully next time it'll go a little bit more smoothly. So for now, thank you. Hit subscribe if you enjoy it.
Hey.
And please comment. Look for us on Ravelry, Instagram.
I'm on Tumblr.
And
Follow me on Tumblr.
bye
I
for
post
now.
some fun things.
We appreciate your viewing
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Thanks.
so much.
And
Thank you. How many times?